this case, the numbers add up. The sum equals Stella. 4 event finals, 4 more chances to shine. If the recent past foreshadows the future, watch out. 4 more moments, about 4 minutes of work. Not a foregone conclusion, but a decent chance that Canada's all-around champion can complete the sweep. The final day, the final 4 events in artistic gymnastics from Memorial Arena in downtown Victoria. Today, a Canadian champion has a chance to leave her mark. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Memorial Arena. Scott Russell, joined by Alfie Schlegel. This is Stella's story, Alfie, and this will be the final chapter.
Well, 4 years ago, Laurie Strong won 4 gold medals for Canada in Auckland. Stella could very well surpass that record. She's in all 4 event finals, could do it, and wouldn't that be a sweet way to leave this international stage?
As you say, Alfie, Stella Umeh has qualified for all 4 event finals, and in so doing, she qualified first in 3. Great story. We'll see how it develops at Memorial Arena.
All right, Scott, gymnastics coming up.
It's always a really tough competition. I mean, world and everything, you know who the powerhouses are, and you know, you just go out there and do your job. But Commonwealth Games, it's just like, everybody's out to get each other. We're all nice and we're all buddies and everything, but it's just when we get out on that floor, it's like my routine is just, my routine's gonna beat your routine.
It's hard to tell here, but Stella was a rambunctious child, never standing still. Before she wrecked the house, her mother had her in the gym. The result eventually led to Auckland.
I couldn't compare it to anything because this was my first experience. I went out there, I competed, and it got really exciting when it was all over. And then it hit me, oh my goodness, you know, in that Commonwealth Games. The thing that excites me about gymnastics is the fact that it's a challenge, and it makes me stay determined, have a little determination and some drive, maintain some drive in my personality, because I'm always striving to do something more, or to hit what I'm trying to do, you know. It's always, you're always grinding your teeth. You get a little frustrated, but then when you get it, when you get that move, you feel like you've accomplished something. Some people are driven by, I want to win, I want to win, I want to prove to everybody that I can do this. I'm just in there trying to go beyond my potential, trying to go that extra step for no apparent reason. I don't really need any personal gain, because if I accomplish a move or I accomplish something, that's personal gain enough for me. I've been brought up in a household that doesn't thrive on winning, and it's not, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's just, you know, you go out there and you have fun, and if you're enjoying yourself, everybody else is enjoying what you're giving to them.
Still in the family, Stella's sister Stacy does her choreography. They work as one.
My sister and I work perfectly together because we're always on the same wavelength. She's really good to work with, and she's a very, very good choreographer.
The competitive life is all but over for Stella. This will be her last international competition. Too soon, maybe, but that's the fate of the gymnast. There is ample evidence, however, that Stella will make her mark another way, not too far in the future.
The hardest thing is to know when to stop. I don't want to push myself to the point where I've pushed too much. For one thing, my body will seriously disagree with me. And for another thing, I've accomplished so much. I've done more than I came to do. I came to have a good time, you know, and I've done all this, but gotta know when to stop.
I have mentioned our voice of these games, that fella that talks like this, Earl Mann. The voice of those features is Beth Harrington, a rather prominent Newfoundland family. Beth Harrington doing the features. Denise Harrington works for the National, and Tom Harrington is here with CBC Sports. They're from Newfoundland, and right now it is just coming up to midnight in Newfoundland. Gymnastics, a big story here tonight. Let's go directly to gymnastics. Here are Scott Russell and the lady we saw a few minutes ago, Alfie Schlegel.
The individual event finals, the final events on the final day of artistic gymnastics competition at these 15th Commonwealth Games, and what a chance for Canadian Stella Umeh. She is the all-around champion, has the gold medal, has a chance at 4 more gold medals today, and she begins on a very strong event, the vault, the first of 2.
No one does that vault quite as well as Stella. Yurchenko with a full twist is valued out of a 9.8. Today, both vaults count. It's an average score. The difficulty in the event finals to do a second different vault. The first one, Stella's capable of sticking this vault. Scott, we saw her score a 9.725 in the all-around competition when she nailed the landing. But right here, one hop will be a slight deduction. She gets such tremendous height off the horse, nice, clean, stretched out body line in the air. Really, the only deduction again was the landing.
And there is the first indication for Stella on this day, 9.650 on her first vault. As you mentioned, Alfie, this second vault will be averaged with that score to come up with a total out of a 9.7, as you see to the left of your screen, so not quite as difficult. She'll have to score well.
Yeah, it's down a tenth, and what you need to try to do is perform it as perfectly as possible because it's only out of a 9.7. This vault is a traditional Sukahara vault, the type of vault, actually the vault that Mary Lou Retton performed back in 1984. And she did it in a tucked position. It actually has a lower value than that. A little bit of a surprise for Stella.
That's her coach, Alex Bard, head coach of the Canadian team at these Commonwealth Games.
Sukahara style vault. Instead of round off onto the board, she enters immediately onto the horse, does a full twist. It was a little bit untidy in the air. She was supposed to keep her legs perfectly straight and her body completely straight.
Now, the bottom one being the average and the final score.
Look of relief right there on her face. Another look at this vault. Round off, full twisting, somersault. But she stands it up.
And here is the result, 9.462 for the second vault. Averages out to 9.556. Stella off to a good start. Surprise story in women's competition, Sonia Lawrence of Wales. Floor exercise specialist, but has shown great strength.
Wow. She has certainly impressed me at these Commonwealth Games. She does two totally different looking vaults. The first one is one that we haven't seen her perform in this competition. Sukahara in a stretched position with a half twist, and the value of this vault is a 9.7. She did all that she could do, including sticking the landing. There's the round off approach, throws a half twist, and she was right on.
9.537, the first result for Sonia Lawrence from Ildi in the Welsh Valleys. Now a strong second vault, high degree of difficulty, 9.8, Alfie. She could score well and put some pressure on Stella Umeh.
Well, she chose to go with her weaker vault, the weaker of the two, and now the start value goes up, and this is the vault that she has been very successful with in this competition. Handspring, front pike, a bit of a deep bend on the landing, and as we said, the value of this vault, a 9.8. Two very strong efforts from Sonia Lawrence. Handspring approach in a pike position. She gets lots of height, but you can see they're struggling on that landing. Very tough to do. So far, she's the only one that has shown two very different styles of vaults.
And she has scored very well, 9.550, 9.543, only slightly behind Stella Umeh.